Hello and welcome to another edition of the JabJab Show. Today it's story time. Written a story and everything, and this story comes from the pages of Smash Hits, the 80s. It doesn't really. I thought I'd use this book as I intended to read the story from. Smash Hits from the 80s. I picked this up a few years ago from a charity shop. Smash Hits was a magazine in the UK that is catered for all the people who like pop music and things. This story this week is called Kebabs and Cigarettes. So make sure you sat comfortably and all that, and it'll begin. New Mayor of Bolton upon Sleepsville, Shep Roundup, has called together all the town representatives for an emergency meeting. The dynamic former refuse collector announced to them that his main concern is the year-on-year decline in tourists, which has been a detriment to the local businesses, and that, even though the coastal town has dozens of down-market cafes on the beachfront and the discount souvenir shops equate to 70% of the town's trading places, they've been really struggling. Also, neighbouring resort town Average has just acquired a live crocodile in a lock-up garage, and their fortune has improved as a result. Mr. Roundup knew they had to take evasive action, and he thought of a radical idea. He told everyone present that they were to come up with a creature to add to the town folklore. This would mean they could sell merch, guided tours, public reenactments, made-up histories, things like that. He wanted ideas. After an hour of talking and arguing and tantrums, they finally agreed that this new creature was humanoid, so some could dress up as it. Not too scary for kids, so they would write a picture of it on a t-shirt or lunchbox. It was to make odd gibberish noises and have an almost uncoordinated way of moving. Coming up with the history of the creature was equally important. Shep knew he wanted the creature's story set in the 1800s because believable footage could then be discovered on a converted VHS tape. That was the thought anyway. After the meeting, Shep went over to Eric, his laid-back brother's house. He's almost permanently drunk, and as his lack of decent education made him the perfect choice to be the monster, which was to be called the Bolton upon Sleepsville Petal Monster. That was the best they could think of, as it was decided that the monster was to resemble petals. Shep let himself into his brother's house, found him watching certain types of films on DVD while swigging cheap cider from a 3-litre bottle. After about half an hour of crying, reminiscing about how things were better years ago, Eric got to his feet and said he'd do it as long as it was paid in kebabs and cigarettes, cutting out the middleman, which was cash. They were both due to attend another meeting with the other town representatives the next day. Eric asked if he had to be sober for the meeting. Shep told him no, purposely be drunk. At the meeting, the sole woman representative had made a costume for the monster, resembling petals, and one of the others had brought in an old VHS camera with a bunch of tapes. It was decided that they'd film at the oldest looking part of the town, which was a derelict area with broken houses and shops. So Shep, Eric, and the sole woman representative, who was there to sort the catering, made their way to the derelict site. They rehearsed a little. Eric was feeling sick and struggled with the crepe paper and denim costume. It was too small, and the tail was unfortunately positioned. The show went on, and they felt that the hour they spent filming, Eric stumbled around in the costume, puking up and shouting incoherently, was time well spent. Now all they had to do was make up a story about how the tape was discovered. Luckily, Shep had friends in high places, so there's no shortage of media outlets to propagate the story. It was Eric who was the local who stumbled upon this tape. Using Eric was a masterstroke, as viewers and readers of the news could possibly have thought Eric had any skills in faking such a thing with editing and the like. The story went viral, putting Bolton upon Sleepsville on the map. Souvenir shops quickly made t-shirts and other random crap with the image of the petal monster. Shep's plan had worked. People from all around the world flocked to the dated resort town, and the local businesses were thriving. Shep thanked Eric and kept him topped up with kebabs and cigarettes in order to keep quiet. The end. So there you go, that's kebab and cigarettes. Stay tuned next week or something for another story. See you later.